I want y'all to remember this. When times get hard, go harder.
I'm telling you.
Right? Because eventually you're going to become good at this or whatever you do.
We're going guess for guess for guess. Going bigger and better every time, guys. We got another special guest on with us today.
We got my boy Eli here, man. Man been going crazy wholesaling and flipping the land.
I'm Eli Bryant, the land flipper. And if you want to flip land nationwide, I'm telling you, tap into this episode. I'm going to give you all the source. The most money I made in a month wholesaling land was probably around $80,000. But I had months where I made $80,000, then the next month $60,000, then the next month $70,000, then the next month $20,000. If God could give you the vision, He wouldn't give you the vision if you didn't have the ability to do it. So if I could see 10 million in my mind, I know I could make 10 million. When I was door dashing in Florida, I remember door dashing to the high rise I'm living in right now.
Damn.
Delivering food to the high rise I'm living in now. And I feel like when you bet on yourself and you have a vision, God will make that happen as long as you are ambitious and driven to keep going forward. So
We are live, man. Welcome back to a whole nother episode of On the Porch. You know, guys, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, go out to other platforms, leave us 5 stars, say something nice, move us up those charts so we continue giving this goddamn information out to the people. Man, follow us on Instagram at _on-the-porch, and follow me on Instagram at _Mr.Mindset. BJ!
Amen. 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 Hey, we back here with another episode of On the Porch, man. Y'all could go ahead and follow me at _BJ Real. And like I say, we're putting it right in you guys' face, guys. We're on all platforms at _on the porch. Dropping every Tuesday. We're not hard to find. But like I said, we're going guess for guess for guess. Going bigger and better every time, guys. We got another special guest on with us today.
We got another special guest. And guys, since we keep giving you guys a special guest, of course y'all want to see us continue just moving up and continue just making the production better, getting better people for you all. So guess what I want you guys to do? I want you to leave a super chat if we've been helping you out. Support the podcast. I know a lot of people been asking. Go and support. Leave us a super chat. And look, join our membership. We got exclusive offers for our members. Guys, you want to go ahead and get in early before it's too late. Because once it's too late, hey, I don't even know what to say after that.
Right.
Once it's too late, it's just too late. You feel me? But
shit.
Man, we got somebody that I've been trying to get on for a while now, man. And not for you guys. Again, it's for us. It's for me, right? I'm being selfish with this podcast because I want this information, but hey, if it can help y'all at the same time, whatever, bro. So we got my boy Eli here, man. Man been going crazy wholesaling and flipping the land. So guess what? We had to get him on here. Eli, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Eli Bryant, the land flipper. And if you want to flip land nationwide, I'm telling you, tap into this episode. I'm going to give you all the source.
All the sauce, all the sauce.
Look at Eli is with us today, guys.
The book of Eli.
The book of Eli, man. He's a book about on this especially about the land flipping. He is the book on it. So, Eli, how did you even get started in flipping land? Like, what is your background that led you to the point where you're at right now? That got you into flipping land.
Yeah, so I started off.
Now, where you start off at?
Yeah, so I started off wholesaling houses, right? But to go backtrack a little bit, right? I'm from New York, Staten Island, New York. I was living in Brooklyn, New York at the time, living in my mom's basement, and I come across this YouTube video, and this dude's talking about how he moved from Jacksonville, Florida to Tampa, Florida, and he made $300,000 in 1 year flipping houses, wholesaling real estate.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, at this time, I was playing basketball overseas at a very low level, you know, not making that much money. So I'm like, 300,000 in 1 year, going from Jacksonville to Tampa, like I could do this too, right? So I hit him in the DM, was like, listen, I'll work for you for free. Just teach me the game.
Oh, wow.
And he's in Tampa, Florida. I was in New York at the time. He said, you know, come down for an interview.
That's crazy.
So if you live in New York, you know, you don't need a car, right? We take the trains everywhere. So my mom, she gave me her car. I packed up my stuff and I moved to Tampa.
Wait. Before you keep going. First of all, you said you're going to go home. You're going to go move miles and miles and miles away and go work for someone for free. A lot of people don't understand what that is, because people always feel like I got to get something out of it. But what you usually get out of stuff like that is knowledge. Is that what you were going for?
That's exactly what I was going for. It was like free mentorship, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, a lot of people, when they hit somebody up, they're asking, oh, how can you show me to do this? How can, I flip houses and stuff like that? Nah, you got to come off as, how can I add value to you? So I was like, listen, I'll work for you for free. I'll lock up deals, whatever you need me to do. I just want to learn the game.
And then you say your mom gave you her car.
She gave me the car.
That's crazy.
What's that, a 20-hour drive?
Yeah,
All the way
so
to Miami?
I actually took a 4-hour drive to
rotate.
Virginia.
Yeah.
And then I took the train. So I packed my car up in the train, and I took the train to Tampa, Florida.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got you. So
So were you always like an entrepreneur, or like what?
he said he was hooping. You was
Nah,
a
so
hooper.
I was
you was a
hooping.
hooper.
Yeah. I was playing in El Salvador. I got the opportunity to play in El Salvador. It's a very low level of professional basketball, but it's still professional, right? That's when I kind of lost that passion for the game, because it was a third world country. People walking around, like the military walking around with shotguns, MS-13s out there. So I'm like, nah, I'm done with this. I got to get money.
Yeah.
So when I got back, I didn't have a job. So I was door dashing, living in my mom's basement. I'm like, I got to do something different. Like, this isn't life, right?
How did did that do anything to your pride? The fact that you had to come back home from playing professional basketball, which I know your people is like, oh, he going.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the one to go.
Yeah.
But then you had to come back home. Like, how did that feel? Like, how did that go?
Honestly, it did suck, but I was locked in. At this time, I was off social media. So the people that's around me, even back home, they don't see what I'm doing. I was locked in. I was like, I got to figure something out. I got to make money. I want to, live a luxurious lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to ask my mom, my dad for money. I don't want to live under their roof. So that's when I hit Dan up, and that's when I moved down to Tampa. So when I moved down to Tampa, I was working for Dan for a little bit, around 2 weeks to a month. And then, honestly, I was whack on the phone. Like, I was terrible on the phone. So he basically, like, I'm not going to say fire me, but he was like, listen, this ain't working out. So, from getting experience with him, that's when I started studying sales, right? I was watching YouTube videos. They have a lot of cold calling videos on YouTube teaching people. And then I was actually recording him. So I'll practice in the mirror after he will have sales calls. I'll practice those same calls in the mirror, acting as if I was him. So his same tonality of what he would say. So eventually I started getting good. And then that's when I started closing house deals.
Yeah.
At the end of that year, it started slowing down. Cost per lead started going up. And that's when I knew I had to make a pivot. As an entrepreneur, you're always going to have to make pivots, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I started wholesaling land, right? It's the foundation. So land was like a game changer.
So the fact that you was able to actually go ahead and start studying, so you didn't take that as a defeat. Like, the fact that he was like, let you go, you actually took that as something, so like a motivation almost, huh?
That shit motivated me OD. Like, now I knew I had an extra fire under me. Like, not saying he didn't believe in me, because he definitely believed in me, but because I knew I wasn't good. So it was that extra fire, like, oh, snap, you gonna dismiss me? And now I see I'm not doing good. Okay, I'm gonna practice this. It's just like basketball. When I was playing basketball, I practiced hours upon hours. So it was the same thing. Now I gotta practice the script hours upon hours. I gotta make cold calls, even if I'm nervous, because I'm naturally an introvert, right?
Yeah.
I don't like speaking to people, really, unless you speak to me. So now I'm going outside. I'm going to the public. I'm going to meetups while I'm in Tampa, meeting people. And that's when I came across wholesaling land.
What the, hey, so,
Yeah, and y'all, I was about to say, but y'all don't be discouraged, guys, because I remember my first call, like, cold
this
calling.
nigga BJ was terrible.
And literally-
his ass.
No, literally my first wholesale call, I called and I'm like, hey, so are you looking to sell like 104 Parker Place? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, I was like, we'll send you a contract. I just started stuttering. I had nothing for him. So don't always think you got to be a natural to like thrive in a business, guys. A lot of like the skills and stuff that people have, especially with sales and marketing, is learned over time.
And for sure, and obviously my stuff was learned over time just because I'm just talking to people. I was going door to door and all that stuff before. But the thing is with that, I just want to say something what BJ said. A lot of people like get used to saying no, hearing no. But you really need to get so after you get past that point of hearing no, you got to get used to hearing yes. Mm-hmm. That's literally the next step in sales. But I learned that in sales when I was going door to door. Yeah, you hear no, hear no, but BJ heard yes, and that's sometimes what happens when you guys start calling, when you guys start texting people, whatever that is that you're doing in marketing. You might hear somebody say yes immediately, and that usually freezes people. That's way worse than hearing no, because once you hear yes and you freeze, now they like, oh, you don't even know what you're saying right now. I can't even say yes to you. All right, bye, hanging up the phone. So now you just missed out on a lead. Luckily, BJ was able to pass it to me. We ended up closing it. That was BJ's first closed deal. He ended up just telling me, hey, bro, Mike, I know I fucked this up. Just call him, bro. He wants to sell. And we ended up closing that deal. But yeah.
And you know what's dope about that? Like, even if you mess up the deal, right? Even though he messed up that deal, he still got it back and still closed on it.
Right.
So that's what could happen in this game. I be telling people, who join my program, practice that script, and then just jump off that fence, jump off that ledge, make those calls, because all they could say is no and yes. And if you follow what I teach you in the script, after they say yes, you're going to close the deal.
Yeah,
simple.
Because you could play around with like texting people all day. Because we know you can send text blasts out, but guys, like you're gonna eventually have to get on that phone, like one way or another. Like it's rare that you close a deal all the way through just like texting somebody the whole time. Like you're gonna eventually have to get on the phone. But you said you got into land. So what made you realize getting into wholesaling land might be a better opportunity than actually wholesaling houses?
Yeah, so like I told you, right, I had to get out of my shell when I moved to Tampa, especially once I started doing it myself, right? So I started going to meetups out in Tampa. I didn't really have no connections other than Dan, so I had to meet other people. So when I went to meetups, you go to the back Facebook groups, there's people telling you like they doing meetups, events. So I started going outside in Tampa, Florida, and I met a group of people that was wholesaling land. And even though I started doing houses, I started getting good at houses, but they was doing land and they was closing like 6 to 10 land deals a month while I'm closing one house deal.
Yeah.
So that kind of flipped a switch in my mind, like, damn, maybe I need to start doing that. So at the end of the year, the houses kind of started slowing up, right? So that's when I, pulled that land list, and that first deal came in within 2 weeks, and I made $6,000, and I haven't looked back since. Like,
what year was it?
This is 2020, the pandemic, yup.
For sure.
Pandemic.
So how, and it was definitely a pandemic for you, huh? I got you. So, but I want to understand. So, when you got this land, what was the steps to close that first land deal? Like, you pull a list, but I'd be confused. I'm like, all right, what land is able to sell? What is able to develop? Are you worried about that, or what's going on?
Yeah. So for that first deal, I did it a little bit different than what I usually do right now. So that first deal, I used to pull code violations when I was doing houses. So I would have land, I'll have, storage, I have acres, I have houses. So I had this land deal in my pipeline, and I asked my friends, right? I gave the guy an offer. I didn't even know what to offer. I just gave him a low offer.
What was it?
And I asked my friends that was doing land if this is a deal. They said, yo, this is a deal. Lock it up. So I locked it up. And then that next day I went on Google and I Googled spec home builders in the area that I was focusing on. And a builder, picked up, and I told him how much I had it for. I think I had it for $30,000. And I told him, listen, if you buy this for 36, we could close on this in 2 weeks. He said 36, I'll close on it right now. And literally locked it up with him. And then in 7 days, I closed on that deal and made $6,000.
Did you sell it for too cheap?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I definitely,
we know when they like agree too
when they
fast,
agree
we
too
be
fast,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
With wholesaling, if a seller or a buyer agree way too fast, you sold it for too low.
It'd be crazy because like you'll offer somebody and they'll be like, okay, I can do that. You be like, hold on. I'm not saying we could do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's something we might be able to do.
But that's honestly all I needed. All I needed was that proof of concept. And when I tell you, like right after that deal, I couldn't go to sleep. Like I'll wake up like 5 a.m, right? Looking on PropStream. If you look on PropStream app, you could virtual drive for dollars. for the people that don't know what virtual drive for dollars is basically
What is driving for dollars? First of all, I don't know what that
so
is.
driving for dollars with houses, you drive around your neighborhoods looking for vacant houses. You'll write down the address, call the people up using True People Search. So with virtual driving for dollars with land, everything is virtual. So I was using PropStream, the app. I will create a list because PropStream app, it will give you a satellite view of the whole area. So you can see every vacant lot within the zip code or area. So let's say you're doing Atlanta, Georgia, right? You can see every vacant land in Atlanta, Georgia from 5 to like 7 a.m. I'm looking for lots, right? I'm creating that list. Once I created that list, I would then call the seller up or text them and then just give them low offers. And that's how, I started getting deals back to back. It was literally like 4 deals a week, 4 to 5 deals a week, when I first started.
And we know, like, just like for that deal, that first deal, and like any other deals, like we know, like when you're wholesaling the house, of course you look at like other comps and see like what's been selling in the area over like the past couple months, of course. So like when you're looking to run the numbers for land, how do you like decipher whether that's like a good deal or not, or how do you run your numbers like as far as land?
So in terms of land, what I focus on, what I specialize in is infill scattered lots. So the first step that I do is I always look for a market where, builders is buying infill scatter lots. They're usually around 10,000 square feet. But in certain locations, certain areas, certain states, they may be a little bit bigger, right? So I find an area where a bunch of these lots are selling for. And then I contact builders on Google. And then once I contact the builders, I'm asking them these 3 questions, right? What price are you buying lots for? How many lots are you looking to buy within the next 30 to 45 days? And then what zip codes are you specializing in? Once I have those 3 questions, I know exactly what to offer the seller. So for example, if the builder says they're paying $100,000 in Atlanta, Georgia, all I have to do is offer everybody under $100,000 and it's a deal if they accept. So I usually start my offer around, let's say $90,000. Right? I'll offer everybody $90,000, and if 1 or 2 people accept, I make the difference in between. It could be $10,000, it could be $20,000. Sometimes I get the people to say they price first, and they might want $70,000, where I can make $30,000 by selling it to a developer.
So infill scatter a lot. Like, what is that? Break that down for me.
Yeah, so it's lots that aren't developed in newly developed communities. So what I focus on, like let's say Atlanta, right? I wouldn't focus on Atlanta because Atlanta is basically built up. It's developed. Yeah. I focus on the outskirts, the suburbs. That's where the opportunities are. So in certain areas, in certain states, a lot of builders is looking to build out the outskirts. So that's what I focus on. And the builders, they're just going to build the house once they, acquire it from you. They're going to build a house and then they're going to sell it on the market. So they don't really care how much we make on the deal.
So how are you finding, like, how do you know which area to search, like, for the infill scatter lots? I guess how do you know that something is a newly developed area? Like, how do you know that? Yeah,
that's a great question. So the first thing I like to do is I like to go on Zillow.com, which is a free website, right? You go to Zillow.com, and what you want to do is, let's say you found the area within the outskirts of Atlanta. We in that area right now, so I'm going to use that, right?
Yeah.
You find the area, you put that area in, and then you put sold, right? You want to put the filters as sold, and then the second thing, you want to put lots and land. You want to X out houses. You want to just focus on lots and land, right? And then the third thing, you want to put sold in the last 30 days. Once you do those 3 filters, it's going to let you know how many lots sold in this area. Let's say we're picking this area we're in right now. They're going to show you what the lots is selling for within the last 30 days. And they're going to show you the prices too on Zillow. So now you know what to offer, and you know if it's a good area where developers is buying. Because if, let's say, 50 lots were sold in this area the last 30 days, okay, I know that this is a good area. If I find a deal, a developer is going to buy. So that's what I tell people. What I love about Zillow is if you remove boundary, right? Once you put those filters in and you click remove boundary, what Zillow would do is it will show you all the sold lots within the last 30 days around the nation. So now you could scroll around the map and you could see the pockets around the nation of where all the lots are selling. So this is how I got my deals in Arizona when I went to the Brent Daniels podcast on TTP. I knew I was going to TTP podcast, so I'm like, you know what? Let me check Arizona. I saw a bunch of lots selling in this one area in Arizona. I put my market in there, and I made like 30 or 40,000 before I even went on the podcast. And y'all could do this too.
Oh my gosh. So you do in and out of state deals?
Yeah. I mean, I mainly focus on Florida because this is like, that's my area. I feel like I know every pocket of Florida, and you know, I have a lot of developers out there, but you could honestly do this anywhere where a bunch of lots are selling.
How do you go about finding develop? I know you found your first one by just going to Google, searching a spec home buyer.
Yeah.
I heard that. But are you still doing the same thing to find your buyers, or what do you do?
Yeah, so you could use websites like LinkedIn. LinkedIn, a lot of developers, builders, the land acquisition is on LinkedIn. So let's say put Atlanta, Georgia, right? You go to LinkedIn and you'll type in land acquisitions, or you'll go to Google first. You'll see which builders is buying in Atlanta, and then you'll go to LinkedIn and put land acquisitions for this builder that pops up on Google. You see the person, and then you contact him directly and ask him those 3 questions that I told you guys earlier. And they'll give you the criteria because it's making their lives easier. You get what I'm saying? So this is what they focus on. So if you're helping them, you're breaking bread together. So that's what I do. And then you could also go to propstream.com, right? Propstream.com, you could put the filters as corporate owners or trust owners that bought, you know, over 10 lots within the last year. And you could focus on those builders as well. So what I like to focus on builders that's paying top dollar next to retail or above retail. Once you got that builder locked in, you will make a lot of money in this game.
Guys, listen, I'm so happy that you are tuning into the podcast. As you all know, I'm Mr. Mindset, and you know that I do wholesaling real estate. I've been doing it at a high level for a while now. So what I'm doing is I'm giving out strategies on how you can do the same. Guys, I have an ebook out. I have an ebook called 4 Steps to Make 6 Figures in 6 Months with little to no money in wholesaling real estate. Guys, get the book. The link will be in the description. Go get that. And guess what? It also comes with another book, The Perfect Mindset, 7 Thought Patterns that can take you from stress to success. Guys, both of these books will change your lives. I promise. Because if you have the right mindset and you're able to apply that mindset to something, and this something will be wholesaling real estate, you will change you and your family lives. Go get it. It's only $20. Let's do it.
Now, do you have to like actually go like physically look at these properties, like each one that you lock up, or like how do you do that? Like go about that?
And that's why I love this game. That's a great question. That's why I love this game, because everything is virtual. I never have to see the land. I never have to see the seller. I never have to see the builder. All I have to do is make that connection and use these websites, PropStream, Zillow.com, REI Cash, and put that deal together. So that was the difference between houses and land. When I used to do houses, I would have to drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes to see the house, to see the seller face to face, to see the buyer face to face, show the buyer in front of the seller while all the buyers is in the room.
3, 4 of them.
Right.
I'm telling you, right? And you be like panicking, like
Might be like, BJ, go.
Right. Nervous as hell.
Yeah, sure.
Picking the ugliest room in the house to negotiate the deal and things like that. Like, I used to hate doing that, right? It builds up strength and character doing that. That's why I appreciate me going through the trenches, doing wholesaling houses first. But going into this niche, it was 10 times easier because I didn't have to do that. All I have to do is send out text messages, send out cold calls, or send out direct mail. And mail, they're calling me. So I like to use reverse psychology. Like, you got to sell me the deal. We don't buy every deal we come across.
That's a good strategy.
You get what I'm saying? We don't buy every deal that we come across. So I'm asking them pre-qualifying questions to see if it's a good fit for us. And if it's a good fit for us, we could give you an offer.
That's a good negotiation strategy. I'm gonna let you go. We got a live audience, guys, of course. So we got people asking questions, right? But for sure, that's a good. I'm just all about negotiating. People know that I'm like I like negotiating. So just showing that indifference, that's a great strategy. Just being, especially when people are calling you, you can use that indifference play, right? Indifference, you're just being able to show people that, hey, it's actually you need me more than I need you. Mm-hmm. Even though I want the goddamn deal too, but I'm gonna make it seem I'm being indifferent. Like I don't know if I really want it like that. Especially if you call me, and you can do the same thing if you're calling people. You can be like, hey, I just ran across it, but I really don't know what's going on with the property. Am I interested in it? I don't know. Can you answer these questions for me? So yeah, I just wanted to put it out there.
I like to tell my sales team, if I use the analogy, right? If you run away from a dog, it's gonna chase you.
Yeah.
So you want to act like you don't really need the land, right? You're providing a service, but you don't really need the land. This is why this makes them want to do business with you and chase you. You never want to chase the seller.
Never. What's up, bro?
Yeah, so in wholesale, sometimes with the houses, like some of those.
Is his microphone on? 'Cause I just ain't hear him in this. All right, go ahead.
In wholesale, sometimes the houses they'll fall out of contract, or you may lock a deal up and you can't find a buyer. I was curious, when you get land locked up, is there a ratio of how many deals fall out, or deals that you hold longer than others? And is there a reason why they stay longer?
Great question. So with land, there's things that you do want to be aware of, right? So we in Georgia, right? It's a lot of hills. So a lot of developers, they don't like buying on slopes, like hills.
Okay, yeah.
So you want to pick areas where it's kind of flat ground. Another thing, if you're marketing in Florida, there's a lot of endangered species. Gopher tortoises, burrowing owls. So you want to be aware of those. You won't know until you lock it up with the builder and they do their due diligence, but that does happen. And then in case if, let's say, my one builder or two builders deny the lot, if it's in Florida or Arizona or areas where I could list it on the market, I like to list properties on the market because, especially if you're in Florida, you could use the MLS flat fee. You don't even need a realtor, which is golden because a lot of people is moving from New York up northeast to Florida. So a lot of these people will bid on your lot and buy it from you that a developer denied it. So that's what I like to do.
Now, does it matter like if the land is like restricted or unrestricted, and also like does it matter if it's like has a septic tank on it, or if it's connected to city water? Does that make like a difference as far as like the value of the land?
Yeah, so certain areas, for example, Palm Bay, right? So Palm Bay, there's 3 different type of lots. So you have well and septic, you have city water and septic, and you have city water and sewer. So each one of those areas is a different price point. So whenever you come across an area like that, you want to build rapport with your builder because they'll tell you the price for each of those areas so you know exactly what to offer. And once you know exactly what to offer, it just makes everything so much easier because you could laser focus on that area. So like, for example, that Palm Bay, my builder, well and septic, they'll probably pay under 25. But if it has city water and septic, they'll pay under 40. But if it has city water and sewer, they'll pay under 55,000. So what I like to do with my marketing, I like to focus on those individual areas individually and make offers based on those prices and lock up deals.
So would you say it's a pro tip to reach out to the developers and land buyers in the area before like you actually like go out there and start making offers?
That's exactly what I do. I always, when I wholesale and when I flip, I always think the end first. I reverse engineer everything in my life. Now, since I've been in this business, I always start from the end and then build my plan from the end. So that's what I do with this business, right? I find the market where lots are selling. I find the builder, ask him the price points, and now I know exactly what to offer the seller. So when I speak to the seller, I have more confidence. My chin is up, my back is straight. I know exactly what to offer you. So I know exactly what to say, and I'm going to give you the confidence behind what I'm saying that you trust me so I could close the deal and make money over somebody else.
So pretty much Does how big or how small the lot matter? I guess it just depends on the area, correct?
It depends on the area. So, like in Florida, my builders don't care if it's heavily wooded. And what I mean by wooded, if it's like a lot of trees on the lot, they don't care about that. They don't care how big the lot is. I mean, if it's a double lot, it would be better because now I could offer more and potentially get more because a lot of these sellers, that's one thing I love about these games. A lot of these sellers, they bought the lot years and years ago for $1,000, $500 for pennies. So when I offer them $30,000 for their double lot, but that double lot goes for $60,000, you know, they're thinking, oh, my lot is probably worth $10,000, $15,000 or $20,000. You know, I'll do $30,000, but I could really sell it for $60,000. And then a lot of these sellers, they don't like being proactive, right? Even me, I'm like I told you guys earlier, I'm an introvert. Before, you know, growing up, I didn't even like ordering food. I didn't like calling the people to order food, right? So that's the same thing with these sellers. They don't want to call realtors. So we are direct to sellers. So when I go directly to them, make them an offer based off those price ranges, they willing to, you know, sell.
For sure.
And now we know, like, with wholesaling, of course, like, it could either be like a high-paying skill or you could actually turn it into a business. So would you say, like, right now, wholesaling is just like a high-paying skill for you, or, like, is it actually, like, a liquid business for you?
Nah, it's definitely a liquid business. So I've been doing this for, you know, about 4 years. And I probably only had like 1 or 2 months where I didn't close a deal out of that, you know, time frame. So it's definitely been a consistent role for me. I closed over 200 deals. And right now, what I do, since I teach people, and within this game is fairly simple, right? If you have some hustle, you could definitely make money in this game.
I'm telling you.
So what I do is I give people the opportunity to search for me. So I'll post my builder's criteria, the price points, the areas, the location, how many lots they're looking for within my group. And this gives the audience an opportunity to make offers, find a deal, and bring it to me, and I have the builder, and we'll split it 50-50. That's what I do with a lot of my members that join my academy.
Okay, I got you. So right now, when you first started to where you are now, how does I know you made $6,000 your first deal, but what is the money like? Maybe on like a monthly basis with wholesaling land. Like, how does that look? Because obviously they're gonna want to know. I want to know. Yeah. And we need to know that you make money. So we're gonna ask.
So it could range, right?
Yeah.
It could range. The most money I made in a month wholesaling land was probably around $80,000, but I had months where I made $80,000, then the next month $60,000, then the next month $70,000, then the next month $20,000. So it could range, right?
Right.
It depends on your hustle, because this is a hustle business. So each deal, you only get paid. You only eat what you hunt.
Right.
So if you get lazy, if you get comfortable, I just made $80,000 this month. Nobody in my friend group, nobody in my family made $80,000 this month. I'ma chill. That's what a lot of people do. Right? But if you have that consistent grind, you can make this a consistent cash flowing business. And then another thing with these groups, like I have a member in my group, he doesn't even like focus on sellers. He focuses on builders. He posts his builders criteria within my group, and people bring him deals. He's closing like 2 to 4 deals a month just from people bringing him deals.
For sure. And that's crazy because most people don't understand that. And that's why I'm glad all of us, we all started in wholesaling, because once you start in wholesaling, it's like you understand any other business you're going to, you're going to hustle. Because literally it's like, bro, if I'm not working right now, I'm not going to make any money.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like eventually after you've been doing it for a while, it's kind of like you kind of want to move out of that area. Right. Like you start getting burnt out. Do you ever feel like you're burnt out, and how do you deal with that? If you ever do feel like, oh, well, hold on.
No, never mind. Go ahead.
How do you feel about that? Like, do you ever feel like that, and how do you deal with burnt out?
I definitely felt like that. So that's when I started, because I don't feel like wholesaling is my passion.
Right.
Right. It was just a money play. I needed money. I wanted money. I wanted to live a luxurious lifestyle. I wanted to live in a high rise. Right. When I was door dashing in Florida, I remember door dashing to the high rise I'm living in right now.
Damn.
delivering food to the high rise I'm living in now. So now I'm at that point where it is kind of like a burnt out in terms of wholesaling land. So I found a new passion, teaching people. I remember one of my students, right? One of my first students, you know, she made 6 figures, probably around 7 figures now, wholesaling land. I remember one day walking into my office. I had an office at this time. You know, I always tell this story. I had a glazed donut and an iced coffee. And I remember she called me up. I haven't spoke to her in about 6 months after she made her first $25,000 her first month, right? She went ghost. I haven't heard from her 6 to 8 months prior to that. She calls me up randomly, and she sounded like she was crying. Her name is Jazz. She was like, yo, Eli. I'm like, yo, Jazz, you good? Everything okay? She's like, yo, bro, I just passed the 6-figure mark in assignment fees, and I just quit my job. And I tell you, when she told me that, it felt better than any single wholesale deal that I got, because I now changed somebody else's life. She was working a job she hated, got the information from me, and within a week or within a month, made $25,000, locked in, and within 8 months, you know, was able to quit her job. So I feel like that's where, like, my fulfillment is coming from now. Seeing other people quit their job, get out of slavery based off the knowledge that I'm teaching right now. That's why I feel like this feels like more my purpose than actually wholesaling land now.
Yeah. But she tripping though. I closed 2 deals and I left my job.
But soon as BJ,
I closed
Gotta
2
find it.
deals. I closed 2 deals. I quit my job. Hey, got a new spot.
Fact.
Had the bachelor pad, all that. Not playing.
And that's all it is, bro. And it's just saying, it's just one of those things, bro. And I tell people, like you said, it's just like wholesaling is great. And I actually love wholesaling. I love doing it. But I understand that I'm glad people are in the room that understand this too. Because it's just like, bro, when you're doing this shit day after day, bro, month after month, and now it's turned to me years after years. At some point, it's just like, all right, bro, what is the next level? Where am I looking to get to now? And the fact that you're saying, hey, teaching is where you want to be at now, that's great. And you just put your money, and you guys don't have to start wholesaling and start teaching. You could start wholesaling and actually put your money into places where you want to do. If you want to start a hair salon, now you could take your money and put it into that hair salon, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's a good cash grab. So you go ahead and put it, or you can start buying more properties, right? Which most people do, right? When they do wholesaling, you just go buy more properties. So ultimately, bro, I just need y'all to understand what he's saying. So what was your biggest year?
Say it again so we can clip it together.
So what is your biggest year?
So this is probably going to be my biggest year in terms of, you know, both of my businesses, because I'm teaching and I'm actually wholesaling land, people bringing me deals. So right now, in terms of the teaching side, it's at 1.3. You know, we still got 4 more months left of the year, so that could go up. And then, you know, with land, accumulating both of that, it's probably going to be around 2 point something this year.
What about so just land itself? What you thinking is be right now? Where y'all at right now?
In terms of land, where we at right now?
Yeah,
we're probably at like 4, low 4s.
Okay,
so I could see at the end of this year being somewhere around 5. 5 in the 5s.
$500 just wholesaling land, bro. And the thing is, this is possible for you all too. Guys, listen. I'm so happy that you are tuning into the podcast. As you all know, I'm Mr. Mindset, and you know that I do wholesaling real estate. I've been doing it at a high level for a while now. So what I'm doing is I'm giving out strategies on how you can do the same. Guys, I have an ebook out. I have an ebook called 4 Steps to Make 6 Figures in 6 Months with little to no money in wholesaling real estate. Guys, get the book. The link will be in the description. Go get that. And guess what? It also comes with another book, The Perfect Mindset, 7 Thought Patterns that can take you from stress to success. Guys, both of these books will change your lives. I promise. Because if you have the right mindset and you're able to apply that mindset to something, and this something will be wholesaling real estate, you will change you and your family lives. Go get it. It's only $20. Let's do it. So, right now you're obviously out here living a good life, right? You're giving out hella game to people, so it's good to live a good life. I'm happy that you're living a good life. But what are you usually doing when you get these funds? I know right now, what are you doing with your money? What are you doing right now?
So
Besides,
right now,
but just period.
yeah. So right now, I've been buying land.
Okay.
Right.
Now you're buying it.
Now I'm buying land. I've been buying land for the last 2 years, but now I'm starting to become more heavily in buying land because eventually I want to develop on it. And the lots that I come across is, like I said, is dirt cheap. These people paid thousands of $1,000 for it 40 years ago, so they're still willing to sell for a discount, right? So I've been buying land and then putting more money into my businesses, investing back into the business so it could continue to grow. Because I want to triple my numbers. I'm not, even though this was my biggest year, I'm not satisfied with it. Like, I want to 10x this, like on some Grant Cardone. I want to 10x this. I want to retire my mom. Like, I have big dreams because I know that it's possible. If you could put the picture in your mind, I say it like this, right? If God could give you the vision, he wouldn't give you the vision if you didn't have the ability to do it. So if I could see 10 million in my mind, I know I could make 10 million. So I try to think as big as possible. I like to go home, right? Every night, I like to sit in my closet, turn off all the lights. I live by myself, right? So I like to turn off the lights, keep it quiet. And I like to just visualize the perfect life as possible. With me, as much money, retiring my parents, living luxurious, impacting people. I like to visualize that because now if I can have that vision, I have the ability to live that lifestyle.
Man.
So that's what I want to do.
Now, do you have like any ambitions to start like any other businesses or like buy any other businesses or do anything outside of real estate? Or is it just like you're just all in real estate?
Not currently, but I feel like with networking, right? This is why I came to InvestFest. Because that's where we was at earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know who you may meet, who may teach you something. Because I didn't even know about the teaching side until last year, middle of last year. I didn't know how much money you can make and stuff like that. So you never know who you may meet that may give you an idea, that may give you the idea to buy a business or to start up a new business. So right now, my main focus is networking.
Yeah.
That's why I came down here, to y'all podcast, network with y'all, hear some different ideas around people that's making money at a young age. Because y'all might spark an idea in me that might triple or quadruple my income. So that's what like my main focus is right now.
I know me and Mike trying to get into land after this.
400, we gotta go crazy. Y'all about to see me come up.
I tell
You got a
people,
question?
especially if you wholesale houses right now, right? If you wholesale houses, put land into your repertoire.
I got you.
Reason being is because houses was 10 times harder than land. You had to see that seller. You had to build rapport differently. Land, there's no house on it. So the conversations is fairly simple. It's fairly simple to get your offer off. Yeah. So I feel like if you could do houses, you definitely could do land. And this could be another stream of income for everybody.
For sure. You had a question? Hold on.
Yeah. All right. So my first question is, who put you on the educational wave?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So who put me onto the education? Shout out to Chris Bruce. Chris Bruce, Detroit Mogul on Instagram. That's who put me on. This crazy story, right? He was wholesaling houses, for years now. I don't think he's currently doing it anymore, but I remember watching him back in New York, wholesaling houses, teaching people, doing crazy numbers. When I moved down to Tampa, I got the opportunity. I used to go to like these clubs and stuff by myself just to network. I remember one time we was in the club. He ain't know me at all. And Swag Surf came on. And we looked at each other. I mean, I obviously knew him. He ain't know me. And we just locked in and Swag Surf. And years later, now he taught me all this coaching side. And now we making, 6-7 figures together. So it's crazy. But he's the one that taught me how to
Swag Surf.
Swag. Right. He taught me
You had another one. I
this
said that's the first
education.
one.
Well, I mean, I guess you kind of answered, but what's the number one thing that has scaled your that side of your
Business.
business?
So I would say the number one thing is building a great team within the foundation. Because, of course, everybody seeing me close land deals, making 10, 15, 20,000 a week. A lot of people try to latch on to me, but I feel like me from playing sports, I'm good at recruiting. I'm good to see who's really putting in that work,
Yeah.
and who's really just, oh, I want to live the lifestyle. I don't want to put in the work, but I want to be around it. So I put a solid foundation of team together that I taught how to do this land business. So basically the people that I taught how to do the land business and made 6 figures, 7 figures doing it, I started this teaching business with them.
Okay, that's smooth. That's very smooth. I got you. So right now, what do you? So obviously you're holding land. You're buying land now. You plan on developing the land and everything. But besides that, like, are you like right now with this lifestyle? You finally you're achieving that lifestyle that you want to do. What does this look like for you? What does this lifestyle look like for you? You got a girl? You don't got a girl? You living life large? Or what's going on?
I'm living life right now. I ain't gonna lie. Life is amazing. This is beautiful. It felt like a dream come true. I believe God, when he gave me that opportunity to come down here, he gave me the choice, or I had the choice to either stay in New York, try to figure it out, or take that leap of faith and come and move to Florida and bet on myself. And I feel like when you bet on yourself and you have a vision, God will make that happen as long as you are ambitious and driven to keep going forward. So life is beautiful right now, and I'm trying to make it even better. I like to tell myself every day I wake up, I like to say life is good and it's only getting better. Life is good and it's only getting better. I repeat that nonstop before I go to sleep and right when I wake up. And I try to live on that type of time.
Life is good and it's only getting better. But be honest.
Yeah.
You was probably just tired of them New York females, honestly.
That's what it is, bro. They aggressive as hell, bro.
They very
You was tired of that
aggressive.
aggressive stuff. You was tired of that aggressive stuff.
That's
what
a
you got?
fact.
Was that what it was?
In terms of female, they definitely aggressive in New York. I definitely like the females better in Tampa. I don't currently have a girlfriend, but
open.
I am open to dating. So if you see this, slide in the DM. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. I take you out the country. Now I play.
No cap.
If
We
you
not
cool,
flying nobody out, BJ.
we out. But
Nah,
life is good. Life is good. No complaint.
So like, all right, so bro, use your social life. Are you like you like an inside person or outside? I know you said you're not really like social like that. Or you
I'm
just
starting
like,
to become both. I'm starting to become both.
But
Like, I gotta limit myself because I feel like if I always go outside, I'm not as exclusive. I want to be exclusive. I want when you see me, oh, Eli's here. You get the big hugs. I love that. So I don't go out on a consistent basis, but I always got to show face.
Yeah.
Cause I got to let them know like I'm doing this shit. Like,
yeah, for sure.
So what are you
That's why
tonight?
we gonna get a
What are you
sprinter. That's why
tonight?
we gonna get a sprinter van tonight.
You inside or you outside tonight?
I'm outside.
We outside tonight. We finna get this sprinter van. We gonna put in. We gonna split that motherfucker a couple different ways, and we gonna we getting this
feel
sprinter
that,
van
though.
tonight. Let's do it.
Because when I walked into Investments, it was just people running up to me, oh, that's BJ from the podcast.
And that shit crazy, bro. Like how that feel, bro? Because I know for us, well, I always be gone when they do it to him. They be like, I know this mic, but then
That was funny because the two people that came up to me, they was like they noticed you walk away, and then they just came up to me because like they noticed me too, and then we just like started chopping up.
If y'all want to talk to us on the podcast, just hit us up and we could discuss some shit.
It's honestly the best feeling because a lot of the work that we put in is
Check it
behind
out.
the scenes.
Yeah.
Nobody really see it unless we document it. And I like to document, but you can't show everything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So when somebody comes up to you and they like, yo, bro, you really doing the work. Like you really making an impact. I love that shit. I love it. So if you're watching this and you see me outside and you feel like I impacted your life some way, it could be as little as this. Let me know, because that feels good. It makes me feel like I'm doing the right work, and it makes me want to document the process even more so y'all can see even more, because it's a lot that I don't show people as well. that'd be crazy.
For sure. But I mean, guys, you gotta understand, like, of course we're talking about having fun and stuff like that, but at the same time, bro's really impacting lives. Like, he's really changing people's lives. He posts his results on his Instagram, which you definitely follow him. So I feel like we probably been here for a little while, right? I don't know.
We covered
How
a
long we
lot.
been here?
But we covered
a fuck ton. Like, bro, you gave out a ton of information.
Appreciate
We
that.
gave out a ton of information, bro, and I'm just happy for you, bro. But
Appreciate that.
one thing we gotta make sure we do. We drop this at the beginning of the week, right? We do on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So we gotta make sure that we're able to give them some information that they can implement this week to actually better their lives. So what we asked you to do is called give them some. Give them some game that they can actually implement this week to actually go out here and be successful.
So what you guys could do, especially if you're curious about flipping land, I do free classes every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm telling you, I give you the game in these free classes, right? So if you're interested in flipping land, you want to make 10, 15, 20,000 next month, if you're willing to take action, if you got to hustle, text land at 813-687-8867.
We'll put it in
and
the
I'll
right
get
here.
you right. I'm telling you, I'll get you right.
Text it to them, and I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask it on the podcast because you can't say no.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can we get it like? Let's look. Can my watchers? Can my supporters? Can they please get a discount code? We need it.
A discount code.
So and make it on the porch, and you can't say no. If you say no, you're an asshole.
So I don't know exactly how to do the discount code,
Ask your person that make
but
your funnels.
I will for the
I'm just
I
playing.
will ask them. But for the people that do come onto my Thursday class, I will make it discounted price.
Yeah, just let them know you're from on the
Ask them
porch.
where they came from.
Just
That's what I'm
ask me.
yeah,
exactly.
tell him where you came from.
Tell them
Tell
where you
me
came
if you came from on the porch. Once you're in that free class, contact me on Instagram, and I will make it a discounted price for you guys.
Appreciate it. We just want to. We like to take care of our people. That's all. We like to take care of our people. But listen, we've gave out a ton of game, and I know you guys have understood what he's saying. He's literally went from step A to Z, and the fact is that me and BJ are going to go implement
We're getting into
this
it.
week.
We're getting into
I like dead ass serious. Like we're going to be able to call. We're going to call Eli. I'm like, all right, bro, you got to buy her because I definitely got to sell her right now, right? Because we
Dead
dogs
ass
like
dude.
that, and that's going to happen.
Dead ass dude.
So make sure you guys do the same thing. And guess what else you guys need to do? You guys need to like, comment, and subscribe. Right? You need to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you feel like Eli gave out tons of game, go ahead and support the podcast, support the channel. Hey, leave us a super chat. Right?
Can I say
leave us
one
a
more
super
thing?
chat. Say, please.
I wanna say one more thing, because I know a lot of people that's watching this, y'all not at the position we're at right
Yeah.
now, right? I want y'all to remember this: when times get hard, go harder,
I'm telling you.
right? Because eventually you're gonna become good at this or whatever you do.
Yep.
And then once you become good at it, it becomes like, it's like momentum.
Yeah, momentum.
If you read the book Compound Effect, it talks about it. Once you get momentum going, everything becomes 10 times easier. It literally feels like I'm living on autopilot. So that's why I tell you guys, just keep going hard, and then eventually you're gonna be at the position we're at,
Yeah.
and you might even be even better.
Better, yeah.
Which is lit, because that's what we came. This is what we're doing this for.
Exactly.
So you guys could get value and be in a position or better than where we're at.
All about that hard work and consistency.
I'm telling you, bro. And especially one thing that I think that's why me and BJ, even when we was first starting, like, and I know this is probably off topic, but it's like when we first started podcasting, it was so easy for us to be consistent because we understand that's what come with wholesaling, bro. We literally have to be consistent every single day, and if you want you slow down, the momentum slow down.
Facts.
The fact is, when we start getting momentum, we don't get comfortable. It's like, okay, like right now, we shooting way more episodes. If here on a Saturday night, we don't even shoot on Saturday night.
Right after Invest
Right,
Fest.
Invest Fest, bro. And it's kind of like we understand that that's ultimately what comes with it. The momentum is big, and once you get it, bro, you gotta capture and you gotta hold on to it because it's honestly a gift. So just take that with you and understand that. Now,
Let me get my piece out, mate.
Get your fucking piece out, BJ. God damn it.
I just want to close off the podcast.
Close off the podcast.
I'm not closing off. I'm closing out my part.
I close off your part.
I
bro.
go follow me at _BJ Real. I'm on all platforms, guys. Y'all go follow on the play.
Yeah.
Y'all go follow us at _ on the porch, guys. We're on all freaking platforms, guys. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe on there. We're also on Instagram, and we're about to get this TikTok thing going, guys. We don't know how to work no TikTok, guys, but we're gonna be on there dancing and stuff.
And TikToking, goddamn.
Check this out.
TikToking,
We
this
gonna be
time on the
there.
clock.
But
No
we
cap.
putting it in your face every Tuesday, guys, on the porch, man. We live in your face.
And follow me on Instagram at _Mr.Mindset. Y'all already know what I got going on. Just go look. Y'all see the masterclass. Y'all see all that good shit. And I'm giving out free game. Make sure y'all do that. And we are mother freaking out. Peace.
Oh my God, dude.
JT on the track again.
Hey, run that shit up, Chase.